The price of XRP has been set by the central banks at more than $10,000. Guys, these are not my words. These are the words of central banks around the world, such as the Central Bank of Ireland, the Central Bank of Japan, which confirmed a buyback, and even the Central Bank of China, which confirmed that they will use XRP and could add more than $20 trillion to the XRP ledger. All of these have been emphasized in official accounts. As an example, the Central Bank of China praised Ripple in a report and said that a CBDC would be built for the Chinese people on top of the XRP ledger. But that's just the beginning of what we're talking about today. The price of XRP has been confirmed by central banks, the International Monetary Fund, and the Globalized World Bank to be over $10,000. These next few months are going to be very important. For example, Brad Carling, Ripple's CEO, already told us that the company has teamed up with several central banks around the world for more than 14 months. We've already told you about some of them, but not all of them yet. The case with the SEC is also over because Rebel Labs and the SEC, also called the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, reached a deal. Just think about all the partnerships that will be made public in the next few days. The biggest bank in the U.S., Bank of America, has stated that XRP is now part of all of their payment systems in all of their U.S. branches. It brings in an extra $200 billion every month. We're only seeing a very small part of the scene here, of course. Real payments across borders are not what we're looking at. We are not taking into account the fact that the U.S. Federal Reserve has stated a crypto reserve that XRP will own most of. Also, we're forgetting that the U.S. Federal Reserve has said that XRP will now be used by the U.S. Treasury to settle debt payments, including the U.S. national debt, as well as the fact that XRP and the XRP ledger will now use FedNow, the Federal Reserve payment system. Because of these things, the price of XRP will go up and hit over $10,000, and we haven't even thought about them yet. You're now going to give everyone free XRP. This is just a nice thing to do to say thank you to everyone who watched this movie. Just click like on the video, leave a comment with XRP subscribed in the comments part, and you'll know that you're now subscribed to the channel. You must also sign up for Uphold using the link in the description and complete a transaction. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes to do all of this. You can take as much money as you want for free. It can be used to buy more crypto like XRP or any other crypto, or it can be used to get cash and pay your bills. This chance is only available for a short time, so make sure you guys go ahead and do a deal and sign up for Uphold using the link I put in the description right now. Get that money for free. What I mean is that $1.25 quadrillion are about to be added to the XRP system. This is the real number we're looking at. $12.5 quadrillion a year and a market value of $1.25 quadrillion. This is not a made-up prediction either. The numbers we're looking at are pretty normal, you know? And the proof was a story published on August 27, 2020 by BlackRock and JP Morgan. It said that JP Morgan and BlackRock had agreed to help move the $1.24 billion that will be on the XRP ledger across borders. This is a very important and groundbreaking partnership between Ripple, the Globalized Bank, and the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, ISDA, which works with BlackRock and JP Morgan. ISDA teamed up with Ripple Labs to help them with the $1.25 quadrillion derivatives market, and JP Morgan and BlackRock will also be helping that system handle that huge amount of money. When we look at this relationship, we can see that JP Morgan, BlackRock, and Ripple are all working together to make that huge amount of money possible. But the most important thing to remember is that everything is happening on the XRP record. We also know that XRP will open up an extra $27 trillion, which is perfect cash for banks. To be clear, that's $480 per XRP. This cash has never been used before. Ripple is now in charge of a market that has never been touched before. Plus, the business expert checked. We have top officials from Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, and a bunch of other huge financial players, as well as several companies and banks, confirming the same thing: the opening of tens of billions, tens of trillions, or even hundreds of trillions of dollars. This could all happen in the next year or two. But it all comes back to the reason we're here. Google announced that the Federal Reserve is planning to use XRP as a global payment method. Think about the numbers we'd be looking at then. Think about the numbers. Ripple is also said to be buying XRP back from the market at the same time. What's going on there? The reason for this is that there isn't enough XRP to go around. Having more XRP is the only way for Ripple to work with more organizations like the Federal Reserve. And because there isn't enough XRP to go around, they are now making Ripple buy back XRP from regular people and give it to banks. In this case, moving control back from small investors to large institutions. This seems to be a clear statement that we have seen. Actually, one of Ripple's top officials confirmed a similar comment, that XRP wasn't made for retail. It was never meant to be sold in stores, and it still isn't. It's made for companies because that's who will need and use the technology. That's also who Ripple is really trying to reach. You may have seen this clip, which I believe is very important, and that's one of the things I want to talk about to end this movie. XRP is taking the place of Bitcoin. We've talked about Forbes stories that say XRP will replace Bitcoin, that XRP is going to 59,000, and that XRP is going to be the next giant payment system for the world. Finally, all of this is a huge, huge fact. I mean, all of this is based on facts, and there are facts that really back up this information. But I want to show you this because, it's more of a level that you can relate to. A huge influencer who used to be an influencer is now more involved in the Bitcoin space. Now, the co-founder and founder of several crypto projects is going public with the claim that XRP is already the next Bitcoin, will replace Bitcoin, and is paving the way for Bitcoin. Think about the new people you're talking to. This is Dave Portnoy, who is known for his, I think it's a Pizza One Bite movies. This means that an extra 100 million people are now part of the XRP ledger, the XRP coin, and most importantly, the crypto space. These are new people who are getting into crypto. It's also very, very positive. Additionally, it's encouraging to see that new people are entering the market, but it's also encouraging to see that these newcomers are not investing in Bitcoin, but rather XRP. Even someone like this, who doesn't know much about crypto, knows that XRP is where the future lies, not Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is something that people are just starting to realize. That's why we say you should always buy low and sell high. It's because you're feeling that way now. People are now starting to notice us early birds, and you're still early. We're only just beginning. Now is the time. Non-financial advisors, non-financial ways. No, he's doing study, but now is the time when I should be starting to get the attention I deserve. Trump is the president of the United States of America. He's well known, but it's very important now. In other words, the news that the US Federal Reserve and Ripple Labs are going to talk has come true. In fact, Donald Trump says that as a result, trillions of dollars will show up in the United States. XRP and other cryptocurrencies will also do very well, he says. The stock market is going to go through the roof. The United States of America is going to do